interested in having this resolution passed. Or let me reframe that. How can we work together, the legislature and the sheriff's office, in committee to come up with something that both sides, or is it possible, that could come up with together that could help, that could be used to help to show unity with our, our departments and our leadership, and be a good process. I'll say in Kingston, that was a good process for us. We had the police department, we had our council members. There was debate, and it sounds like you have information about that.
Well, for a police department, they can pass all those resolutions because they don't do any of it. The only time it turns into an immigration issue for any police agency is if you get incarcerated. So then it's on us. So the local police, right? The local police agencies will never ask your immigration status. They won't come hunt you for an immigration violation. You'll never get locked up just because you're here undocumented. It won't happen. But when you do get locked up because you did something terrible now, then it's incumbent on us, the sheriff's office. So it's easy for any other agency to say, yeah, we won't do it.
Well,
but they don't do it now.
Maybe this. So what could we do in the county that could satisfy maybe the intent of this? And I don't mean to speak on behalf of the legislature's language, but I'm just curious, what might be a good way to achieve this kind of a process or an action?
The parts of the resolution or parts of the ACLU 9 guidelines that I won't bend on, I won't bend on now. I think we do a fine job here. I think all the agencies in the county do a great job, and the only time it turns into an immigration problem at all is if you get incarcerated. And then all we do is let ICE know that you're here. If they want you, when you're getting released, they'll come and get you. If they don't, then they don't, and you get out. So even though now everybody knows you're here undocumented, but ICE wasn't that concerned about you, so you're back out again. So we're not going to change the way we do business now. The only thing that could change is if another sheriff gets in there and decides he wants to do it a different way.
So I agree, a lot of it is a matter of public perception and public education, because whether or not we have the teeth, so to speak, to require, which again, it is very blurry in that particular reading of the Attorney General. It is unclear whether we can restrict, even if we can guide. So, these are legal distinctions that I don't know enough about. It's above my pay grade as a legislator. But I would agree that if the public could know a few things. One, that we're not, first of all, we are not bound by an executive order of the Trump administration, especially now, since a judge has actually shown that that's the case. We already knew it based on Attorney General Schneiderman's guidance that we probably wouldn't be bound by it, but there was not a finding in court. So when it's tested, that's when you can reassure the public a little bit more. The other thing I would say is that if people could know what are the positive relationships, let's say, the county sheriff and law enforcement officials in general have with the public, and that that their fears could be mitigated by that, I think that would be very helpful. And Sheriff Van Blarkum is running for re-election, so I think you're not running for re-election now?
No, I don't run this year. If I run again, it's next year.
Okay, so you're running for re-election next year if you run. You haven't decided whether you're running or not.
Hey.
Okay, that's another form.
Go in there.
Right, but in any case, anyone who would want to maintain a good relationship with the public would want the public to feel that they first of all won't be penalized, right, by the federal government, and secondly that they won't be hurt, their community won't be hurt in some way.
And I think that the showing of both of you here today gives us all a sense of how the relationships are and that they're positive. And so the next step for the public is what? So this resolution is now currently in the Laws and Rules Committee that was tabled for a month, which essentially means
We call it postponing.
you postponed it. So the resolution is in committee, which is the first step for something like this before passing through to the legislature for debate and vote eventually.
The public safety meeting is this week.
Laws and rules or public safety?
Public, it has to
It's
go
public
before-
safety, and then it goes to laws and rules.
Public safety, the resolution's there this week, and who chairs the public safety?
On
committee?
TJ Burns.
Okay,
A
so,
Democrat from Ellen.
a Democrat from Ellen.
The only committee, by the way, that's run by a Democrat,
Okay,
right?
I don't know.
so the,
Sheriff's Office, we try and stay out of politics.
right,
We really do, and it's important,
We
no
try to
matter
too
who
here
you
at
are, or
Kingston.
where you are, or what color you are, or what you're,
I'm just saying it's unusual.
we treat everybody gets treated the same.
right.
I'm just saying it's unusual in our county
So
government.
my question is, it goes, so you're all going to be in attendance this week. Of course, committee meetings are public.
Yes.
You can go and watch. If you have a question, you need to make a request prior to for committee
Right.
to speak, which is the respectful thing to do. So the public can go and witness, and you're going to discuss. And then what? What's the next step for something like this?
At the committee, hopefully, I'd like to see this get done as soon as possible, so it doesn't drag out as it gets closer to election for everybody, because it'll still be out there with no resolution to get it done. So it should go to a vote at the public safety meeting. If it makes it out of committee with laws and rules, then it'll make it to the floor of the full legislature. If it doesn't make it out of committee, it'll still go to laws and rules, I'm assuming, but then they'll have to do what they call a motion to discharge. Motion to discharge, Jennifer will know how many you need to get on there.
8 signatures.
So 8 signatures, which probably wouldn't be a problem getting 8 signatures, then even though it didn't make it out of public safety committee, it'll make it to the floor of the full legislature.
So we need 8 signatures of our, of those who, members of the legislature, not just anybody.
Well, let's discuss that a little
Yeah.
later, because that's really
Okay.
fascinating, and we're
So we
going
want
to
to get the
continue.
sheriff's.
But
Yeah.
thank you both so much for being here.
And it asks for country of birth, but doesn't ask for country of citizenship.
So let's take some questions.
Oh, my God!
All right, so I guess what I'm going to do is before we begin, if you could just ask one